Hello, this is Kieran from CIRCA WAVES. You're listening to Recess with Spinelli. Lovely.
You are tuned in to Recess with Spinelli here on WSPN, Saratoga Springs, New York, Hoxton FM, London, England, and the International Radio Festival and the New York State Music Blog. And today we are here with the rockers from Liverpool, CIRCA WAVES. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
As far as your history goes, when you guys got started, I understood that it started as kind of like a bedroom project and then kind of skyrocketed from there fairly quickly with some radio exposure. Can you go into some detail?
It certainly did skyrocket. So I sort of wrote a bunch of demos. I've been in bands for years, as of the other gentleman, and as a sort of just joking round, sort of sent it to BBC Radio 1, and they played a demo twice on one of the biggest shows, which in turn sort of made record labels call me up and say, you know, when are you playing your shows and stuff. So I had to get a band together really quickly, at which point I called for these fellas.
Just anyone you could get your hands on. Just the first people.
I think the more we tell that story, the more I realise I just happened to be there at the right time.
So you submitted that with not really the intention of it actually getting airplay?
Yeah, no, I never really wanted to start a band. I just wanted to put music out there and see if anyone listened to it and liked it. It was a bit of an experiment which went wrong.
Well, do you think music needs an audience of sorts, or do you think it's solely responsible to the artist or their intentions for the music?
I actually think music is more sort of honest and true when you don't think there's an audience. I think as soon as you know there's an audience who are going to listen to it, you accidentally and subconsciously cater slightly towards them. I think us getting signed when we were a little bit older, we weren't 18-year-olds or anything. I'd been writing songs for 14 years, so I wasn't sort of stifled by the pressure too much. I just carried on doing what I've always done. So I guess we work on songs a lot and try and make them the greatest songs that we can possibly write, and then we also pride ourselves on being one of the best live bands in Britain, so that's what we work on too. And I think that's why we've continued to get bigger. How
would you view the role in media as far as getting band exposure? Because radio definitely seemed to have helped you.
I think radio is still hugely important for us. Certainly it has. In the UK, we do really well because of radio, I think. And we've been on a few blogs, but I don't know how, unless it's a website with a huge readership, that I don't think it matters too much. In America, we don't have much radio, so if we start to get radio, we'll see if that is what will tip us over. To see what we've done in 3 or 4 years, from going to playing to like one person in a venue to playing to 5,000 people in a venue, that's ridiculous in itself. So I think we can just make our aims as ridiculous as that, and we can say we want to headline Reading and Leeds, and we want to become one of the biggest bands in Britain, and we want to conquer America.
An average live performance like here at the Hollow, what would you say the role of music is for the audience that attends? Does it serve a specific purpose? Is it an entertainment purpose, or more of an artistic expression, if you will?
I think it's just entertainment, isn't it? Like, people are coming out on a Friday night, they just want to like have some beers and have a good time. I think we're the social lubricant that lets that happen. That's all that is. It's like, I don't think there's anything intellectual about it. It's just people have done this for like thousands of years. They just want to get drunk and dance. It's great.
I like the idea of when we used to go to festivals when we were younger and stuff. I remember seeing like band like Arctic Monkeys and stuff, and that's what made me want to start a band. If bands begin because of seeing us live, I think that would be really cool as well. Yeah, but young kids come up to us and say their band covers our band, and they all learn the songs and stuff, and you see on bands like Facebook's like influences, CIRCA WAVES, Foo Fighters, so that's cool to be a band.
Actually, didn't we see it in where we rehearse? There was a band, there's like, when you see those posters in rehearsal rooms, like looking for a drummer for this band, influences, and like one of the top influences was us, and like we rehearsed upstairs in that building, and I thought that was pretty funny. Like, we're going to be nicking our songs through the walls.
It's something that you don't ever think of as well when you start a band. You think of playing live and all the sweet money that you make, but you never think of actually, I don't know, that was a joke. You never think of like, young kids wanting to start a band because of your band. Like, that just doesn't sort of come into your head. So that's just a really cool side of it, a little perk.
And as far as the sophomore album goes, which is Different Creatures, is there anything in particular on that which you want to talk about? Any challenging moments on it? Any proud moments?
I think working with Alan Moulder, who produced like sort of Smashing Pumpkins records and mixed loads of Foo Fighters stuff and all that, working alongside him and all of us, like a team effort of going into the studio every day and working alongside someone who's so legendary, but he loved our music. We loved working with him. And yeah, I think I was just really proud of how well we dealt with that. And we made a record that sounds like us, sounds different, sounds cool.
And as far as upcoming dates, concert dates in the area, I understand you'll be coming back in September?
We're doing a whole sort of tour with Two Door Cinema Club in September, which covers, I think, most of America.
A lot of the South, a lot of the coasts, not that big bit in the middle. And we're doing Meadows Festival in New York. I've got a couple of festivals out in California as well, around that time.
But as of right now, there's no dates scheduled in the UK London area.
There will be towards the end of this year or maybe next year. We'll stick another London show in. Where it'll be, we don't know yet.
All right, and before we head off, are there any final thoughts? Anything else you think is important for the listeners to know?
I really like Albany. When we arrived, last time we were here, we arrived at like night into this sort of strange area, and I always thought it was quite a bizarre place, but then we arrived today and it was a really nice little town, so I just want to say, yeah, great place.
Thank you so much for joining me today, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You've been tuned in to Recess with Spinelli here on WSPN, Saratoga Springs, New York, Hoxton FM, London, England, the International Radio Festival, and the New York State Music Blog. And today we are here with CIRCA WAVES from Liverpool, England, and their sophomore album, Different Creatures, is out and available now.